So what if I told you that your eczema is not a skin issue, but a kidney, lymphatic, endocrine issue? What does that mean? So the skin is actually helping your kidneys purge waste that we call eczema. When the kidneys are overwhelmed, your skin takes over. So think of your skin as an elimination pathway, something your body uses to get rid of things it doesn't want, waste, toxins, acids. But your kidneys are its primary elimination organ. So when the kidneys can't purge that waste, which we call the lymphatic system waste, then the skin can take over. So what you see usually on your skin when you have eczema is the lymphatic waste. Your body is trying to detoxify without having the strength and the capacity to do so well. So what can you do in this case? You can support the body by supporting your detoxification pathways. So when you support your kidneys, when you support your liver and your skin, but not only those, your endocrine system as well, you can see true healing happen. So most of us think it's actually our organs that regulate how the body works, but it is actually not the case. You know what governs the organs and controls everything in the body? A system. And this system is called the endocrine system. So the endocrine system is basically kind of, think of where your chakras are. It's an energy system in your body that governs that area of the body. There's a lot of cell and tissue convergence in those areas. So for example, when you think of the solar plexus, that's where your liver is. So the endocrine system is basically a regulatory system. The glands that govern each part of the endocrine system are the governors of specific organs. They tell those organs what to do through hormones. So your endocrine system is the leadership, your hormones are the messengers, and then your organs basically are, let's say, the factory workers. They're the workers. They're the ones that do the job that the messengers told them to do. So most eczema sufferers actually run weak in their endocrine system function. So the thyroid and the adrenal glands are the biggest puzzles of this endocrine system eczema enigma. The adrenal glands govern the stress response of the body and production of the cortisol that helps the inflammation of when the body is under inflammation, the system is then helped through the cortisol hormones. So the adrenal glands are extremely important in how inflammation is handled in the body. And then you have the thyroid. The thyroid basically has a lot of different purposes, but for the sake of just the eczema discussion, the thyroid helps the skin sweat. It helps our metabolism. It helps regulate the temperature of our system. So if the temperature is running a bit low and the skin is not sweating, what is not coming out? Yes, the waste that the kidneys are trying hard to purge through the skin. So if you look at the system holistically, the skin is not the issue. Inflammation is the issue because our glands are not telling our body what to do properly. So the adrenals are not secreting the cortisol that the body needs to keep that inflammation down. Then you see that redness and the ooziness and the inflammation of the skin happen because of the lack of those steroids, of the cortisol hormones. And then the thyroid tells the body, you have to sweat, you have to have a specific temperature. So all the metabolism is, all the cells, everything, digestion is running smoothly. And when that's done properly, then your skin can take a lot of these acids out without a problem because it sweats properly. But when you have a hard time sweating properly, especially during winter, you can see a lot of that eczema go, flare up or happen for the first time. It's just because that regulatory system of the body is down. So instead of blaming only the liver, only the kidneys and the lymph system, we have to look at the body as a concert. So if one aspect of the body is down, and especially the regulatory aspect, the endocrine system, then it affects different organs, and it affects how the body can deal with inflammation, how the body can perform. So if we give the body, first of all, get rid of what the body doesn't need so it can self-repair, and then help it do that even better by regenerating the systems that are down, then we can ensure the healing is permanent. So if eczema is a waste problem because of all these different factors, instead of treatments, instead of steroids, instead of thinking, how can I just see, clearer skin, we should be thinking about how can I get rid of that waste that's trying to come out of the skin. The body's actually just doing its job. It can't push all of this waste through the kidneys, so it's trying to do that through the skin. So how can we help it do what it does best? So instead of putting, it's a story that I tell a lot of people. You have your, a site, a beautiful mountain, and you decide to put festering trash on top of that mountain. But then you come there and you say, I can make this look a bit better and feel a bit better. I'll just spray the whole surroundings with perfume. I'll create, instead of the chaos, I'll create a better functioning system. So the trash is not all jumbled up on top of each other. And it's gonna look better. So that's what we're trying to do with eczema. We're trying to camouflage. We're trying to basically suppress it from coming out. But this waste needs to come out. If it stays inside the body, it's going to cause even greater health issues. So your body's only helping this waste by taking it out through the skin. What we need to do is help to support the body's detox pathways. So the body detoxes by itself every day. However, if it's weakened by diet, by age, by chemicals, lifestyle, emotions, it's not going to do a great job. So we have to actually support it through detox and fasting. That's why in a lot of religions you see fasting as part of the lifestyle focus in a specific time of the year, because that is something that promotes health. It promotes well-being, emotional, mental, and physical. So if we fast, if we detoxify seasonally, it helps our bodies. And that's what the body is basically asking for. When you see any condition, chronic condition, please help me detoxify. Take this waste out so then I can regenerate. And that's what we need to do. And that's what detox does. Detox supports the body's elimination pathways. It supports the kidneys, the liver. It supports the lymph flow. And also the herbs that you take during this detox would be ones that support the endocrine system, which is very highly energetic. It needs a lot of support. So the nervous system and the endocrine system are the highest running energetic systems in our bodies, and they require a lot of energy. So for them to pick up, for them to heal, we have to eat an energetic diet, a very alkaline diet, one that promotes not only detoxification, but also regeneration. So that is key. Purge the waste, regenerate the body, and then work on your emotions. Help to regulate the nervous system. Help to regulate the endocrine system. So the nervous system and the endocrine system are related. Your adrenal glands are part of the nervous system, but also the endocrine system. So when you're stressed, when you have anxiety, that is all an adrenal issue. And the adrenals are a big part of the eczema puzzle. They're the ones that help to pump steroids to help inflammation go down. So when we regulate the nervous system, when we regulate the endocrine system, and when we support the body in doing what it's designed to do, to detoxify and repair, we are going to heal 100%. All it takes is the knowledge and the willingness and following a very specific protocol that helps the body clean, and it helps support the cellular regeneration, so supports your glands and your cells to do what they should do, And then you're going to see that healing happen over time. And this process, unfortunately, doesn't happen overnight. You have to put in some work. You have to be okay with seeing your skin get worse before it gets better. So because the body wants to detoxify, it's going to use the elimination pathways that it can. And that's what happens during eczema, and that's what happens during detox. So you're going to see these flare-ups. You're going to see that waste come out. However, because now you're supporting the body, you're eliminating, the kidneys are going to be more supported to do what they need to do, which is drain that lymphatic waste. So once your kidneys start filtering, then you're going to see that recession of that eczema, of the body's not going to use basically the skin primarily for waste detox. It's going to funnel all that waste where it's supposed to go, and that is the kidneys. And of course, your skin is always going to detoxify. It's going to be used as an elimination pathway, but not in a sense where, you know, you don't have an inflammatory support from the adrenals. Your thyroid is now better, so you're going to be sweating, and that is going to be done in a way that doesn't cause the redness and the oozing. So it's going to use it in a healthy way. So now that you're aware that eczema is not a skin issue, and you understand it's a waste problem with a lot of different organ, endocrine system issues mixed in the puzzle, the challenge is to start and commit to a protocol. Most people are stuck in this cycle of trying to figure out what eczema is. So they're looking at the microbiome, which is part of it, but not at all the true root cause. They're looking at allergens, which is actually, if you have allergies, it's a lymphatic problem. So the allergies are just symptomatic of a backed up lymphatic system. So they're looking at these small different aspects of, you know, what is triggering eczema, instead of saying, hey, eczema is a waste problem and the body's using my skin to remove the waste. And once you change that paradigm, then everything shifts. So once you understand eczema as a waste problem, you're going to know that the treatments, that treatment thinking is no longer viable, because treatments only look to put a band-aid over a festering wound. A lot of treatments and creams, so things we put on our skin because we want the eczema to look better, are actually suppressing the body's way to eliminate that waste. So we're actually suppressing, by putting things on the skin, we're creating a barrier that the body now can't use to eliminate. So we have to be cognizant. Once we understand this paradigm shift, we're gonna get it. We're gonna get that, okay, my body's really freaking out because it's full of waste and the skin is just doing its job. So the point wouldn't be to make the skin look better or feel better, because that's cognizant on thinking it's a skin problem. Instead, it's to focus internally, to focus on what is causing my body to be inflamed. Acids, waste. How do I get rid of this? And how can I support my body in doing what it does so it doesn't have this waste problem? It doesn't have an endocrine system issue where I'm seeing hormonal problems, autoimmune issues, and eczema. So if you need more support on how to use detox, a detox protocol to help you heal eczema, I'm going to put up a video that you can watch next that shows you exactly how you can detoxify and heal your eczema. But if you're ready to take the next step and you want to work with a professional that gets it, that gets detoxification, that gets the lymphatic system, which many naturopaths don't actually know about or understand fully, then I am here to help you. I have years of detoxification experience. I'm a certified detox specialist and an eczema coach. I've helped multiple people recover from eczema naturally, and I'm here to support you. So if you feel called to work with me, all my information is down below. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon.